This is Vince with Individual Point of Sale. Thank you for joining us for this short video on reordering product based on reorder points and desired inventory levels. We'll be working in Lightspeed Point of Sale R series. And first of all, we're going to take a look at the reorder list report that you can review to see what needs to be ordered. As you can see, initially when we go into the report, it reflects all of your items that are at or below the reorder point, and it's going to show you how many are needed, how many of those items are needed to get you back to your desired inventory level based on your current quantity on hand. Please note this is just a report. You cannot generate a purchase order from here. You can, however, specify your vendor if you wanted to break it down. In this case, we're going to take a look at FM Brown and see that we do need to order at least one product. The current quantity on hand is 10. The reorder point is 25, so we are below the reorder point. And we need to order 40 units to get us to the desired inventory level of 50. We can see where those are set if we go to edit the item and we scroll down underneath the inventory defaults where it defaults to the default vendor. And we can see for this particular location, we have a reorder point of 25, a desired inventory level of 50. So we need 40, just like the report has reflected based on our quantity of 10 in stock. So let's go ahead and jump over to our master orders, because this is where we will go in and tell it to take a look at our items that are below our reorder point. So we'll go to inventory, go to master orders, and in this case, instead of adding one item at a time off of that report, we could simply just say to add items based on reorder points. So if we just leave it to all categories in this case, we'll go ahead and tell it to add items that need to be reordered. We'll go ahead and hit OK. And all that's going to do on our master orders is pull up a list of items that meet that criteria. So at this point, we could say, based on these items, that we want to create new purchase orders. You could select to add or use existing order assignments or add to existing purchase orders if you already have one created. But in this case, we're going to create a new purchase order, and we're simply going to select that FM Brown vendor that we looked at for that one item. Before we hit assign items to orders, we're just going to scroll down and see that that one item for FM Brown is here. You could, if you wanted to, sort your items by vendor, and you will see that we have one item that needs to be ordered for FM Brown. So at this point, I just want to create a purchase order for that one vendor. Notice the yield sign here letting you know that this cannot be undone. We'll go ahead and assign to order, and it says, are you sure you want to assign to your purchase order? And we'll go ahead and tell it to save those changes. And notice now our FM Brown item is off of this list because it has been added to a purchase order. You can do the same thing with all your other items if you so choose. You can do it by vendor, or you can just let it default to all vendors. And in that case, when you assign items to orders, it will create a purchase order for each vendor that has items in your master order. But for now, we're just going to jump over to our purchase order list that it created, and you'll see that purchase order number 325 for FM Brown has that one item. We can, if we want to, access that purchase order right from here just by clicking the purchase order number, or we can go into inventory, our purchase order list, and make sure that quickly find that purchase order, that our purchase order are filtered by or sorted by purchase order number. We'll go to the next page. And here is purchase order number 325 for FM Brown, and it has those 40 items. When I pull up that purchase order, I can elect to add items if I want to. I can go to add items just by clicking on the add items button, and I can just filter by this particular vendor. So I'm only looking at their items, and I can tell it that I want to add these other items. Maybe I want to just order a couple additional items as well. I can add those to my purchase order as well. Oops. Okay, so we added those items. Now we're going to go ahead, and I always like to just hit the save changes by default. It's going to update your totals up here as well as your extended costs. At that point, I'm ready to go ahead and say, I'm going to order these items, and whether I call in the order, fax the order, or email the order over to my vendor is completely up to you. But that's all we have for this quick video on ordering items based on reorder points and desired inventory levels. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our support team, and feel free to review our YouTube channel for any additional videos that might interest you. Have a great day.